Hey everybody, I'm Steve Haig, member of the Men Second leadership team, and I'd like to cordially invite you to Revival, which is on Tuesday, January 23rd, and we are at the Roost in Nora. We've gotten great reviews on the Roost. The food is good, the venue's good, so we'd love to see you there. We start with a buffet dinner and a little music by the Second Chance Band. That's at 6 o'clock, and then at 7 o'clock we have our speaker. If you're familiar with Men Second, you probably already know this, but we believe that relationships are transformational. Relationships with each other and relationships with our Lord, with Christ. And this is really an opportunity to further that. Come to Revival, get to know some guys maybe you haven't seen in a while, or some new people that you don't know, and then you get to hear a great faith talk from guys like Jake Moelk. So we're really blessed to have Jake as our speaker this month, and Jake is going to give you a little preview of our talk.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This has been a great exercise for me, kind of going back and picking up the faith pieces of my life, as opposed to just being sort of a history of my life type of a thing. Mm-hmm. So I've really enjoyed it. It's going to be a little bit different than the other faith journeys that I've heard here. I wasn't born and raised here in Indiana. I was born and raised in the Chicago area. My parents are both from southern Wisconsin. My dad had a job, and he was a school teacher, high school math science teacher. And in the summers, he found himself working for a YMCA camp, very northern Wisconsin, just about 10 miles south of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And as a kid, I went with my parents every summer. We left on Labor Day and we came back on Memorial. I guess it's the other way around. We left on Memorial Day and came back on Labor Day. So I was spending, 3 months of my life up there. And I look back on that with a lot of fond memories, but I see it as a track that I was on to learn more about God and to learn more about Jesus. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that and that experience and how it relates to, how I feel about those things. And I'm going to spend some time talking about the time when I was married to my first wife and what that journey turned out to be, how that turned out. And then we have, sort of a second, we're in the second business here, right? The second acts and second of this. So I have a second marriage that I've entered into that's been wonderful, been blessed, I think, by God in this as well. So I'll talk a little bit about Kitty, and then if I have some time, I'll talk a little about my what I consider my latest encounter with God and how God was with me during that particular experience. So.
Very good, very good. And you're sort of an outdoorsman for all these summers up north, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm a canoer, I'm a sailor, I'm a fisherman.
How about that?
My parents bought a cottage on the same lake that the camp was on back in 1955, and so most of the fishing holes, we've got muskies up there, we've got walleyes, we've got both kinds of bass, and anything in between. So I've been out there doing that a little bit.
All right, well, I'm just waiting for my invite, Jake.
Yeah, come ahead.
Now, I heard your wife caught a big muskie up there once.
Well, I don't know how big it was, but it was legal at the time.
Okay.
And she'd heard all these stories. The muskie is known as the fish of 1,000 casts, and I baited her hook with not a cast, but with a minnow, and threw it over the side. She said, "I think I've got something here," and sure enough, we boated this 32-inch muskie. She said it's not all that hard, and then she stopped fishing with me.
The fish of one cast for her. So there you go, folks. So you may hear some fish stories, right? And you heard it, 32 inches, right? Not any longer. So come be revived. Hear Jake and his story, and get to know some other guys here at Second Pres. So that's January 23rd at the Roost. That's a Tuesday. Hope to see you there. Thanks a lot.
Steve, there's another thing we need to think about now.
What's that?
The first liar never wins.
Oh, is that right? Okay, is that how it works? All right, very good. Take that to the bank.